Of Mr. Allard's Neighborhood. This is the place where you're entitled to Brad's opinion. And now for your host, Brad Allard.
I always picture you like running down a crowd, like high-fiving people along the way.
Oh, yeah. The crowd you can see here, yeah.
Hey, hold on.
What happened? We jumped. Oh, okay.
There we go.
Oh, brother. Yeah, well.
Brad Allard, yay!
Yeah. That's exactly the kind of reception I get when I go downtown or anything like that. Or walk into the church service. You know, it's embarrassing. I like that, too. Anyway, our friend Bianca Lowery's here with the Center for ASD. They got a ton of things going on, so she's going to tell us all about them. And we're going to talk about last Tuesday's show because you know these ladies, obviously. Also, of course, you work with Lisa. We'll visit about that. We'll visit about
all the
programs,
things.
all the things. Yeah. Now Bianca's an old pro now. And this is like her fourth appearance, and she's got this thing all knocked out. There's Lisa. She says hi. Okay. Hello,
Hi, Lisa.
Yeah. So you have to say nice things about her now. I know what you said before. My gosh. I don't. Anyway, Taylor, how you doing?
I can't complain.
You staying cool?
Trying.
These
Doing my best.
Teslas, they keep pretty good air conditioning going on.
Usually, yeah.
Usually, okay, that's right. Yeah, that's what I want is, most of the time air conditioning works.
It works until it doesn't, and then,
Yeah, okay.
And then you melt.
Yeah. This is even tough on us old Texans, But it's interesting because I watch the news and they say all these hot days. Well, we still haven't passed last summer's or 2011's.
Why does it feel like this summer is the worst?
They say that every year.
Yeah, I think it's part of it.
So.
Now, they always compare this to 1980. I was just graduated high school in 1980, and I was working outdoors in like landscape irrigation and maintenance, lawn maintenance.
I wasn't born yet.
Yeah, no, you weren't even gleaming your daddy's eye. And I mean, that was hot, but I was 18 years old and I could take it. Now it's like the 90-second walk outside. I'm back in the house. Anyway, I'm just wasting time. Let's talk about what we're going to talk about with Bianca. Let's talk about the sponsors first. And Bianca said she's going to comment on every one of these. Well, no, not really. But CrossFit Burleson, 317 Southwest Wilshire, over behind Stone Soup Cafe. The ladies that own it now they really got a lot going on. Lexi and Bailey are going to amp up certain programs. They're going to keep the good ones that are working for them, which is most of them, I would imagine. They have the classes, they have the times, they have the programs. So why don't you check out their website, and you can find out all about them. And also Shandy, she's still knocking out the real estate, so she's doing pretty well, I hope. I was asking her the other day, we were texting about 3 days ago and asked her how business was. And it's slowed down because of the interest rates, but there's still real estate out there. Our friend Tamara Kilgore says the same thing.
She certainly does.
Yeah, it's slowing down. Candy Gal over at U Mortgage is saying it's slowing down, but it's still out there. And so Shandy can help you navigate through all of that. Also, Our Place, of course, everybody knows Otto at Our Place. He's a big wheel, big deal here in Burleson. Yeah, I go there often enough that I know the staff there, and that's a good thing. It's like a hometown feeling when you walk in, hey, how you doing? And I know you. And you kind of know what's going on with them, and they know what's going on with you, and it's a nice feeling. I like that place a lot, obviously. On the highway in Allsbury, go check it out. Also, Wild Cigar and Culture, same thing. I've gotten to know Chris Notable's business partner, Nathan Siegel, and he's a very fine man, and it's a great place to go for a smoke or a drink. If you yourself aren't a cigar smoker, you probably know somebody that is. It's a great place for get gift cards. And remember, Christmas is just around the corner. You wait. We go about a month from now, you'll start seeing the Christmas decorations at Sam's, and it just drives me crazy. Are you a Christmas person?
I'm a Halloween person.
Okay. Well, a lot of people are Halloween, but nobody's Thanksgiving person. I am a Thanksgiving person.
Well, I'll tell you what, I decorate for literally every holiday, so I appreciate a good holiday, but yeah, Halloween has my heart.
Well, okay. Well, I like Thanksgiving because there's the 3 F's. Family, football, faith, and not necessarily in that order. Usually football comes first, family comes last. Faith, depends on the games. Anyway, Wild Cigar and Culture is out there for you over at the Standard. And also, Tiffany Nico with Local Life. Yeah, there you are. Okay, Local Life magazine. It's out already. It's about financial services here in Burleson. It's a really good magazine. 30,000 homes get it. It's a great place to advertise. Do y'all do stuff with them when it's occasionally?
We have before, yes.
Okay, it's a good place to get the word out. So, Local Life, call Tiffany and Nico, and she'll set you right up. Also, our friend Gayla at Southern Gym, they're open right now. Have you been to the new store?
I have not been to the new store yet, but
Yeah.
I've heard really great things.
Yeah, it's very, very nice. Now, when you say new store, it's the same location, just on the first floor instead of the third floor. So it's not like you have to go looking for it. It's a nice big sign right next to American Revelry. And I've been there a couple times just to drop stuff off or whatnot. And it's very nice. And I always promote this part of it. You can take your significant other and park him in the bullpen, and they're going to have a TV soon, and they have a little something in the fridge for him to keep him occupied while you go spend the college money. So, it's
I think that's a great touch.
It is. I mean, because, I do stuff with Robin, like go to the antique malls, and I don't mind it for about an hour. And after that, I had my fill. So if they had a place like that at some of these malls, we can just stuff the husband over there, put a beer in his hand, there's a ball game on TV. Boy, the amount of business they would probably generate, Well, anyway, Southern Gym on the bottom of the Windmiller building. Also, our friend John over at All Pro Roofing. We'll see him tomorrow, 817-734-2756. We'll see Gayla tomorrow, too. She's presenting tomorrow. Robin's putting together something for her. 817-734-2756. We'll come check your roof out. I'm going to have him on the show in about 3 weeks. And it may not be like a provocative show, but people really need to know what's going on about this kind of stuff. But not just the roofs, but the issues in getting roofs. I mean, I was talking to him last week, and on the supplies and the labor and all that, that's becoming a real issue. It's been a real issue. 817-734-2756. And, of course, our friend Melissa Harmon at Texas Farm Bureau at 682-804-0534. I believe she's at your center today.
Yes, she is sponsoring snow cones for our summer camp program and also our adult program as well.
Well, that sounds about like Melissa. She's very tender-hearted and good-hearted person. I really enjoy her company. The last three people and the next one are all part of our little B&I group that Bianca and I are in, so we get to know them pretty well. And Melissa's definitely a
huge heart.
A huge heart. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. 682-804-0534. Also, another big-hearted person, Lisa Smith, and her husband Morris at Stop Restoration, where they get it right the first time, right?
First time.
Yeah, they got us trained, don't they? But also, they will tell you that you need to have your house inspected for mold and such, because Texas and mold go together. And you may not even know you have a water leak until it's too late, behind the shower, at the hot water heater or whatever. Plus, if you have some sort of wind damage, fire damage, water damage, they can help restore that to you. So be sure to give them a holler if you have that need. As far as the nonprofits, I know that Little Red Schoolhouse is still going on, and on Thursday we'll have Jennifer Woods from Harvest House here. So we'll be talking about that, but we're going to talk about the Center for ASD. They got a lot going on. Lisa's a pretty active person, wouldn't you say, in terms of
she keeps us busy, yes.
And your friend Michelle, she also works there. She's
Hi,
tuned
Michelle.
in. Yes, she's tuned in as well. Where do you want to start off first? You said something going on in about a week.
See. We do. We are partnering with the Brick here in Burleson. They are putting on a summer luau dance party for special needs individuals.
Not just your
and
group, but every group.
No, yes. It's open to the public for special needs individuals, 12 and up.
Mm-hmm. Your friend Angela says hello. She was on the show last week. And another one.
Hey, Cherish.
You know all these people, do you? Yes. We're going to talk about, Angela was on the show last week. We're going to talk about that towards the end, because that was one of the best shows I ever did. One of the proudest shows I ever did, So anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. But back to what you were talking about, sorry.
So the Summer Luau Dance Party, we will have a DJ. There's going to be a photo booth set up, pizza and snow cones provided. Last year, they actually did the same dance for us, except it was Hollywood date night themed, and had the same DJ, and everyone had a blast. They rolled out the red carpet literally, and we were greeting and clapping as everybody entered in, and they danced all night.
Now this is put on by the Parks and Rec, right? Not so much ASD.
Correct.
Okay, so even if your child is not part of the ASD program, they have other disabilities. this is for them too.
Yes, and I believe the lovely ladies at the Brick sent it to the Burleson schools for them to send out to their families and other attendees from last year.
Well, I know school has started, at least for the teachers. And when I saw the posting yesterday, I think, thank God I'm retired. I used to despise in-service, but anyway, but this is a big deal because, not a lot of communities do this. I think we've done a better job as a community, and in large part thanks to y'all and other institutions, but particularly y'all.
Thank you.
Has brought the awareness of the needs of these people that live in our community. 5 years ago, I had a friend whose son was autistic. That was my only exposure to it. Now, after you and Lisa have done what y'all done, and the Parks and Rec are doing what they're doing, and other groups, it's really been, I think you've really done a good job of making it Burleson people more aware of who lives in their own community.
We forced our way into your heart.
Well, yeah. Well, it was a definite need. I like I said a few years ago, I wouldn't have given it much thought. Now I'm very much aware of what y'all do and how you contribute to the community and what you mean to a lot of these families. And that particularly after last week, we're talking to Angela and Felicia was the other one. How vital your center is, and we couldn't do without it in this community because a lot of people be not just underserved, to be unserved. So that's to your credit. But this summer luau dance, okay, it's at 6:00 next Friday, a week from Friday. Let's be clear, on the 18th, a week from Friday. And are other groups kind of pushing this as well, sponsoring it, or is it mostly y'all?
There are other sponsors. I know that Walmart was a sponsor. I'm not entirely sure on the sponsor part because that's more of the Brick side of things.
Well, I meant like other groups, like yourself. I mean, or is this something that y'all are probably the largest group in our community that deals with special needs solely, even though Harvest House and Promises and everybody else deals with all sorts of issues. But y'all are probably the largest or best known for that has a particular clientele, let's say.
I will say that we are the only organization, not only in Burleson, but in Johnson County, who offer the program, the low-cost, low-ratio programs that we have. The school districts, I cannot comment to how well they are not doing because I'm not familiar.
Well, I had some sort of exposure to it. Now, I can't say how well they're doing. I thought they did pretty good. Jonathan says, thanks you for all you do. And most exciting thing coming up, we'll be looking at. Also, Cindy Mullen is saying hello. As far as the BISD, I have a kind of a monthly show with them. And now summer, we took out summer because, a lot of people on vacation and all this other stuff. But we're going to resume it in September. And one of the guests I hope to have is the director of special ed. Usually let Michaela Hill tell me who she likes to see on the show. It depends on what they got going on. And I know that the special ed program, at least at BHS, was pretty extensive. Now, it's the hardest thing I saw about their job is how do you tell if you're making progress?
Right.
How do you know that this approach, this program, this therapy, whatever you want to call it, is this being effective or not? Because it seems like they just had such incremental improvement.
And I know in the school districts, it is a lot more difficult to measure those types of things. At the center, the ratios are so much smaller. We have, 1-to-4 ratios with our elementary age kids and 1 to about 6 for the high school age kids. And we meet the individual at their level. So if they're learning how to read a clock and it's taking a little bit longer than it would take a neurotypical student, we're going to spend the extra time with them. If they, are more interested in one subject than the other, well, today we're going to learn about science a little bit longer than math. And we just try to meet the individual. Well,
I don't want to sound ignorant, even though I am ignorant about this. Do they retain the learning, or do you have to?
With repetition.
With repetition, okay, because that, it's nothing different than neurotypicals, and is now a new term I know. But anyway, but repetition does make it.
And that's
learned.
for anyone. Repetition is.
Like I remember teaching economics. How many times I have to go over this? Blah blah blah. But the point is that I just was wondering, when they make those small steps forward, do they feel like the next time you see them, you have to do it all over again, or do they retain what they learned the last time?
Maybe just a review after they come back from summer, because we'll be starting school back up on the 23rd. So a review, and this is what we covered last year, guys. Y'all remember dissecting owl pellets? Do y'all remember multiplication, things like that?
Well, it didn't sound really too much different than what we had to do, because it seems like, particularly in the math classes, they tell me they spent the first 6 weeks just reteaching what they should have learned last year, and that kind of thing. But that's a topic for education folks, I suppose. I just was wondering, because I'm not familiar with all the dynamics of autism, but I've become much more educated because of you, because of Lisa, because of Shandy, because of the ladies of last week. I think I'm getting a real education. Okay, on another topic, though, what else I know you have a couple of things coming up.
Yes. So
just tell Taylor what you wanted to show up there.
Okay, Taylor, moving to the golf and pickleball tournament.
It's not the same thing, is it?
Well, it's the same day.
Same day, okay.
The reason that I'm not going to talk about golf so much is because we are already completely full. All of the teams, all of the sponsorships are completely full with golf.
Really? So you don't have to worry about getting foursomes? Well, that's fantastic, though, because we've been talking for 2-3 years now, and I've talked to other people that do golf or other type of tournaments, and they usually get a full component just right before the event itself, but you already are booked up. That's great.
It is. It's very exciting.
Well, probably because Lisa walks in and says, "You will be golfing. What time shall you be teeing off?" I don't see her. Oh, that's too bad. No, she'll. You and 3 buddies will be golfing soon, so we'll put you down at 8:00. We'll see you then. Thank you. Bye.
And we really have a great board working with us this year, and they have been so supportive and are going out and helping fill the sponsorship spots. Michelle, who is running the committee for golf, she's been amazing. We absolutely love her. Shout out, Michelle. Woo! So it's everybody working together to make sure these events are the best that they can be.
Well, yes, and this is what, your third time to do this, or second time?
This is my second.
Your second, but okay.
Yes.
So when you joined the ASD Center, this is about your third year, going on your third year?
It was the fall of 21.
Okay. Yeah, it's about your second year. So you brought this up. I mean, this is your idea?
Pickleball, no. I know little to nothing about pickleball. Okay. But it looks like a lot of fun, I think. We do need individual players for pickleball. So the way that Southern Oaks does it is they have a mixer event. So you can have somebody who you would like to play with, and the two of you sign up on an individual basis. But lunch will be provided.
Well, by whom? You got to get the shout out here.
Old Texas Brewing Company.
Yes. Okay.
And that will be for golf as well. And
I've been at an event that they catered, and it was very good. It was, the food was good and the service was good. So you picked, it's a good,
yes,
be a good lunch.
We're very excited about this. But pickleball, it looks like a lot of fun. If you know someone, maybe you yourself do not play, but you know someone who dabbles a little bit, you tell them, hey, Center for ASD has this really awesome tournament going on. You should totally play.
Now, it's $62.50 a player, it says here, and contact Michelle at the Center for ASD. She's kind of running this thing.
Yes.
Okay, and her email is michelle@centerforasd.org.
Yes, or you can always go to centerforasd.org, and there are links that will take you to the appropriate.
Well, pickleball is growing tremendously, and much to my chagrin, I turned on ESPN this weekend, and they had pickleball championships. I'm like, my God, there's baseball going on all over this country, and this is what they have for me.
When I first heard about pickleball, I thought it was I thought someone was messing with me.
Yeah, I did too. Well, the name itself, I thought, okay, pickleball. The first time I saw pickleball actually being played was about a year and a half. There's a restaurant bar off near University in Fort Worth. I don't know the exact street, but across the street from it was a pickleball court, and there had people playing it. And I so kind of glanced over the fence, and
Do kind of one of those, you turn your head to the side and,
it's like, yeah, it is. My brother-in-law plays it all the time, and he loves it. And he says it reminds him of badminton because, and I loved badminton when I played in college. I played, took it for courses, and I love badminton because if you play badminton the way it's supposed to be played, you're really moving. All right, it isn't like tippy-tap over the net at the Sunday school picnic. No, you're really playing. And with these guys that play pickleball, it's a workout. But it's also less stressful than tennis. It's really a game for, maybe more sedentary older people in a sense. Because
Well, come on out and play, Brad.
My brother-in-law, he lives in Corsicana, and he plays 3 times a week. And I was talking to Jim Basham last month about Parks and Rec, and that's on the wish list to have pickleball courts. So we'll see what happens. But there you go. 100% of the proceeds benefit individuals and families with special needs. Have a blast playing pickleball for a great cause. No, when you raise money for these things, I know you're paying for the electricity and the salaries, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But as far as the other money that hopefully there's some after that, what does that do for your program?
If you will move to the next North Texas Giving Day thing, Taylor, we will touch on that very subject.
Okay.
Okay, so let me give a brief background to what North Texas Giving Day is, and then we will go into where the funds are being allotted to.
Well, you do know we're having a show that day, and you're going to be here for it, right?
I absolutely will be here.
Okay, go ahead.
We had so much fun last year.
Yeah, we did. It was. I was very touched by how well all of y'all pulled for each other. It was like a little group of these nonprofits. They're all women, and they're like
cheerleaders for each other.
Yeah, and they cross-reference each other. Okay, because like if I've asked Megan over at Next Step if they had an autistic situation, well, they know who to call, and that kind of thing. So anyway, go ahead.
We do share resources. Yes.
Go ahead and tell us all about
North Texas Giving Day is the largest online day of giving for North Texas. It's all in the name, right? So 100% of the funds raised for the center during North Texas Giving Day are going to be used to award scholarships to our families.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but also, because direct assistance, because y'all are a nonprofit, but you still have bills to pay, so there is a fee.
So different fundraisers support different aspects of the center, and then also grants that we apply for as well. But this one is devoted strictly to scholarships for the families. And that goes for the adults who attend our REACH program and the kids who attend our Excel program.
Excel.
So that's our school program.
Okay. So it goes strict, so it'll help people who need the help. I mean,
Yeah, so our whole thing is that we want to keep it affordable for families. We're in it for them. That's why we exist. And providing these scholarships allow us to do that. And they have a place to go to where they are not having to sell all their belongings to afford care and therapies for their children or loved ones.
Yeah, I've been made aware just of that kind of financial burden it can be. And we were talking before the show, and you told me that working for a nonprofit is not the quickest way to get rich in this world.
We typically say at the center that we get paid with purpose.
I know. So a lot of people need to understand that people that work for these nonprofits, they do so
because we care.
Because you care, because there's other alternatives they could be spending their time and their careers on, but you'd rather work with these people and forego, I guess, certain other opportunities.
Yes, and I fell in love from the first moment I walked in the doors. I was like, this is where I want to be. This is where I want to help. When
you were in high school and college, did you see this as a career for yourself?
No, not at all.
What was your major?
Marketing. So I went to Texas A&M Corpus Christi, and I got my bachelor's in business and marketing. And I've always been a caretaker just throughout all the years with my family. So it kind of came natural for me to care so much about everyone at the center as well.
and you walked in and he said, "This is it. This is where you're supposed to be." Sometimes God drops you right in the right spot.
Absolutely.
And, I've been asking this of a lot of the nonprofit people because it's, I've been sitting here at this side of the table and I get to talk to all of y'all. But I think I needed to help make the community aware, the burdens, in a sense, that the nonprofits have to live under. Not just the financial burdens, whatever else, but how do you not take this home is what I've been asking others. I mean, is there days like you think it's hard to put aside what happened during the day, or are you pretty good with that?
Oh, no, I'm terrible with it. I'm the complete wrong person to ask that. I take my work home all the time. I don't know how not to.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to a couple of the other ladies, and they have hard decisions to be made, or they can't meet the needs that are, seem to be just like a wave this year. Jennifer Woods, like I said, will be on this Thursday. And I had a friend, in Sunday school who works for Promises, and we were talking Sunday morning, and the need is growing ever more. Is that happening with y'all?
It is, and Jennifer Woods is actually a good friend of the center. Her and Lisa share resources and help each other out when possible.
Well, that doesn't surprise me one iota. But y'all are seeing an increase in business, so to speak.
We are seeing an increase in interest, and we are trying to keep up. But in order to do that, we need wonderful people like you to support these fundraisers and get involved with the center.
Now, how can you say no to that? Holy cow. See, you were right to have a marketing degree.
See, but we're trying to, there's a lot of interest in the school program, but again, we want to keep those low ratios. So in order to do that, we need more teachers. Well, we need to be able to pay more teachers, but we need more space to have another classroom, and we have to be able to pay for, everything costs money.
Yeah, sure enough does. Yeah, and more of it, as I saw yesterday at the store. But the teachers you hire, are they young people, or are they like retired ex-public school teachers that are doing this?
Well, we have whenever you say young or old, it's relative.
I mean, they're still, are they, in other words, the teachers are still in that working age category as opposed to be retired?
Yes.
All right. Because like a lot of this private school situations I know are retired public school teachers, like I was for about 3 years. And, and there were people that were much younger than I on that staff at Southwest Christian, but they had the ability to take maybe a little less money, so to speak, because of their spouse. And I just was wondering, when y'all hire a teacher, are you getting retirees? Are you getting people like it's still in the working age?
Working age.
Yeah. And these are certified teachers. These aren't just volunteers as such. They may get paid like a volunteer, but they are,
not certified teachers as far as graduated with a teaching education degree.
But what kind of certifications would you want them to have?
Lisa, why aren't you here right now?
Sorry. Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on. She'll be here soon enough. I'll ask her. But I know. Well, my point is that these are people that have training and professional backgrounds. This is not, somebody who wants to do the right thing. Even though that's nice to have volunteers like that. But
none of the volunteers are in a teaching position.
Right.
No.
Right. And the teachers themselves though are trained.
Yes.
And they are
equipped for the job.
Right. Not just, emotionally, but professionally. That's where I'm getting at. Sorry if I threw so many curves at you.
I wasn't expecting that, Brad.
I'm sorry. It's not on the script. Huh? Well, anyway, so we got the golf and the pickleball on the same day. What date?
September.
Will you throw it back up there, Taylor?
And it's the 8th. It is the 8th.
It's a Friday, and it starts at 9 a.m. over at Southern Oaks, which is a very nice course. But we're very fortunate. We have 2 very nice golf courses in this area.
Yeah, last year it was at Hidden Creek, but we're excited about Southern Oaks this year.
Yeah, and so, you need to kind of switch it up a little bit, But hopefully by September 8th, we won't be walking through this microwave oven.
Oh, and I will say that even though all of the golf sponsorships and teams are full, if you would like to be a sign sponsor, we do still have those available, and that's $300. And we are also still in need of donations for raffle items. And if anyone would like to just come for the raffles, I don't see a problem with that either.
Yeah, was this signs sponsorship is like this whole presented to you by XYZ or something like that?
Exactly.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That's all goes into the funding.
And I think our old friends from Truly Title are going to be a whole sponsor. They're doing
nice.
a margarita hole.
Oh, now that's getting serious. Yeah. I like that, because you're going with my golf game. I'm going to need something to make me feel better. RK Counseling. I'm not as familiar with this group as you may be. Thank you for pointing out the important talking points. Critical thinking is a lost art. Oh, good. Okay. I'm sure that's a friend of the center.
Yes.
Okay. As far as other events, okay, this is post Labor Day, I suppose, but you got some other things coming up too.
So we have this North Texas Giving Day.
Let's talk about that for just a second. We kind of passed over that. On the 21st of next month, all y'all are going to be here. And what specific needs? Well, let me re-ask this question. I'm going to ask it in the right way. If somebody came and dropped a big chunk of money on it, what's the first thing they'd go to? What's your priority right now? Because there's always something.
Scholarships, getting all of our scholarships to be able to be fulfilled for not just this school year coming up, but also to have a little cushion, something to start with for next year. So we're not just filling it from nothing each year. We want to be able to have a little bit in there. You have your savings, right? A savings for scholarship.
Well, one of the things I'm going to ask all y'all on the Giving Day is the same question I just asked you. What's the number one priority? And I know, like Jennifer, I know what she's going to ask right now or say right now is they need a truck over at Harvest House. They definitely need a truck. They're having to rent one because their old one went kaput, and so they're trying to get a truck. I know Megan over at Next Step, what they need is usually either stuff for toddlers or medical equipment. Lisa Schwartz at Crazy 8, they need washers and dryers, so the needs are different, but they're all,
So you're talking non-monetary needs.
Well, that's what the money's going to go for, hopefully. Now, if somebody donates a washer and dryer, sure, but I'm just saying, but a lot of it is they need stuff, but they need the money and quite often to buy the stuff because it's getting harder actually because of supply chain issues and inflation and whatever else. And that kind of thing.
So as far as things that we need, we always need paper towels, toilet paper, cleaning products. The school year is coming back up, and we don't ask the parents or caregivers of the kiddos to get school supplies. We provide all the school supplies for our participants. So school supplies.
When you say school supplies, do they need to be bought with the intention that an autistic person is going to be using them? Okay, you know what I'm saying? I mean, do they need to make sure they're appropriate school supplies, not just go out and buy a pencil box and fill it full of junk? When you talk about school supplies, what do they use?
Well, pencils, yes. Pencils, pens, spiral, journals, binders, crayons, markers.
Okay, so it's pretty typical, but I was just thinking, I remember when I was a little kid, we always had to have child-friendly toys or supplies, rather.
Or like kid-friendly scissors.
Yes, yeah, that kind of stuff. I just wondered if you need to take into account, if you want to have somebody donate some stuff, do you need to take into account who may be using this?
I would say, for the most part, school supplies is school supplies.
Okay,
and,
good.
We're not going to give the kids anything that's going to harm them.
Well, of course, but I'm just saying, I always remember that. It was the best part of going back to school as a little kid is going to to the drugstore or whatever it was, the Gibsons, I'm dating myself here, or the Kmart and whatever, and go get the school supplies and all that other stuff, get the box with the paste. And,
and you want the cool things on your backpack and
the lunchbox and, and all that other stuff.
I always had Lisa Frank stuff whenever I was a kid.
Somebody's saying nice things about you.
Oh, that's my mommy.
Yeah, that's what I thought. She says you're amazing.
Hello, mommy dearest.
She must be bursting with pride.
I sure hope so.
Yeah. Well. Okay. So things, but you mentioned cleaning supplies. I mean, that's not something the first thing people think of.
Well, we are a fully functional operating center, and part of that is cleaning up. And, you know, if there was a kid who was sick in class that day, maybe we need to sterilize a little bit more, you know.
There's your aunt now. Good grief. What is this, a family reunion? Okay, on the show. And there's Erica Schulover, who will be on the show next week with Reach.
Hey, Urka.
Yeah, she is also one of our BNI friends. So anyway, she's always making excuses for you while you're late.
I'm going to not comment on that.
Oof.
I'm there.
Yeah, okay. So cleaning supplies, guys, if you're out there at Sam's or Walmart or HEB or whatever, pick up an extra bag of cleaning supplies. And
I know you and Robin have donated plenty of things
my
to
wife
the
was
center.
very glad to do it, you know, and I'll tell her again, you know, next time we go do something like that, you know, to pick up an extra pack of paper towels or paper plates, I guess, and plastic utensils, a couple extra bottles of 409 or whatever cleaner.
Yeah, all that is great things.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, and I guess that wouldn't be the first thing I would think of, but you know, I guess you'll have to deal with it on a daily basis. As far as coming up in the fall after this, I think you have one more thing after this, do you not? Or is there something that is just tentatively planned around the end of the year?
There is Hunter's Heroes.
Yes, that's what I was thinking of.
And I do not have a flyer for that one, but I will talk about it a little bit.
Okay, let's hear about it.
There is a coach in Joshua who has a son with autism. I believe he's 6 years old. And they host a fundraiser in support of a different organization. In the past, they have done, I believe it's Autism Speaks. Lisa, correct me if I'm wrong on that one. The Autism Speaks walk. So they will raise money and donate it to that event or fundraiser. And this year they have chosen to support the center because they wanted to support somewhere local. Mm-hmm. So what it is August 25th, I believe. They
that's probably I think the first game of the season.
It is the first game. So they're selling T-shirts and they're raising money to support the center. Will be set up out there at the game. They're trying to get the news involved. So if you have any connections there,
I do actually. I have been dealing with Burleson Buzz. Cody O'Brien, a young man here in town, is trying to launch he has launched it. He's trying to build readership for a local news blog. So maybe I ought to put y'all two together.
Yeah, we'll talk after the show.
Yeah, because he's always needing good news to report, and he's trying to build his brand, so to speak. So I'll see if I can get you your numbers and put y'all together and all this. But Cody's he'll have something out tonight, probably I would imagine about the city council meeting or something like that, and he has something comes out Friday. And also, if you're a big local baseball fan with the Railroaders, they have updates and stuff like that. But anyway, I'll put y'all after the show. I'll give you y'all's contact information.
Thank you for that. Hi, Cindy. Mm-hmm. Cindy's one of our adult participants at the center.
As a participant, as a client.
Yes.
Okay.
She used to drive to us from Watauga, and now, I know she moved. She still drives to us from a little bit of ways.
But she must really feel at home there to make that kind of effort to get there.
She does.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, back to the football game. It's so Joshua Owls are playing somebody. I have no idea. I don't even know Burleson's playing yet. Oh, she says she drives from Haltom City.
Haltom City,
okay.
There we go. Thank you, Cindy.
But we, I don't know who they're playing. Doesn't really matter, does it? It's
because they're not going to win.
Oh, you think so? Yeah, what a thing to say.
Whoa.
What? It doesn't matter who the other team is. They're not going to win.
Oh, we both thought you were talking about Joshua.
Oh, no.
No, man. It's wow, that's a shot, Joshua.
The Owls are absolutely going to dominate.
Okay, let's get this right. But they used to struggle, but they're a lot more competitive these last few years. So there you go. That's a good thing. But, wow.
That almost took a wrong turn.
Yeah, it sure did. So Joshua's going to wipe out. I think they're playing Notre Dame. I don't know, but they'll beat Notre Dame. Doggone it.
Yeah.
It'll
be fine.
But that's really nice of them. We had to see about talking to BHS and CHS about that. I don't know the new coach. He just was hired a few months ago, but Geller, Coach Geller over at Centennial, has been there quite some time, and he'd be a good one to talk to because my wife worked at Centennial, and she had nothing but high praise for Coach Geller for the kind of person he is. So I bet you'd probably get a very good response. And as far as if it has to be kicked up to Director Ozzie, the AD, he was on the show about 10 months ago, and I could tell right away he'd be receptive to that kind of thing. So you ought to talk to Athletic Director Ozzie. I bet you can maybe hook up with BISD with that too.
Okay.
That's another connection, I suppose.
Thank you.
Sure. I'm just, it's all centered around me. What are you talking about? I like to change gears a little bit. Okay, another one. Thank you. Last week we had Lisa and a couple of other parents. What did you think of that show?
Oh my gosh, I cried.
Okay. Are you a crier?
I didn't used to be, but the older I get and the deeper I get in with the center, I just think about everything these parents go through, these moms. I've gotten really close with a lot of moms at the center, and I just want to do everything for them.
Well, you could just tell, though, with the three of these ladies, what a 24/7 job this is, and how it's very hard for them just to take a breath, or take a moment for themselves because the needs are always there, and I really felt that, there is no days off when you have a child that's autistic or even an adult son that's autistic.
I would say that is accurate. And for anybody who has not seen, if you weren't able to tune in and you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend going back to the videos on Mr. Allard's Neighborhood
2 weeks
Facebook,
ago, last week,
last Tuesday.
So what date was that? That was, today's the 8th. That would be August 1st. Yeah. I was just really touched by that, and how much they love their sons. But it is an ongoing thing, and it's not like there's going to be a point we can send them on their way and that kind of thing. And I think that's what your center has done for these ladies in particular. We didn't have this before, a place for them to connect with each other.
Yes, because it's not always about the participant. I mean, it is initially, but giving the parents an opportunity to connect and a community for the parents as well, so that they know they're not alone in their struggle. They get to share. Well, I was at a restaurant and, having to have all these weird looks because they think I'm not disciplining my kid or my kid is, going crazy. Well, really, that's not what it is. It's not always how it seems.
Well, I know this sounds like a plug for one of my sponsors, but I've been in our place plenty of times and I've seen children with special needs. And, sometimes they get stressed out or whatever else.
Overstimulated.
Yeah, overstimulated, whatever else. Otto's place is one of the very best places in Burleson to have a meal with a special needs child at the table, because they really do care about what's going on. I saw, the staff at Otto's really go way out of the way to make sure that the family had as best an experience as they could. And I know that sounds like I'm just trying to, shine up a sponsor, but I think people should know that. Well,
and even one of the moms, Anne, she commented on the fact that they love going there and sitting on the patio.
You're right. And so thank you, Otto, for that. But do you have I think you remember this, but do you have an evening babysitting service every now and then?
No, we don't. We offer a program called Thrive. So it's a Friday evening social event.
Okay, that's what I was thinking of.
And
probably.
It alternates between preteen, teens, adults every other week. And sometimes during those nights, we offer a parent support group. And what parent support group looks like changes from week to week. Maybe one time there's a speaker who comes in and talks to them about setting up trusts and wills and going about all the legal processes. And then maybe another time it's you're playing bingo and eating some dinner with people and just...
Right. What the ladies also said is that it was a place they could leave their children and with security, because it's not easy to find care even on a short-term couple-hour basis when you have a special needs child. And so they could leave. They said they could, have the kid go to school or go to the program, whatever else, and know that they're going to be leaving their child in a very safe, secure environment with trained people, with a secure place that they'd feel comfortable with. And that's as big a blessing as anything else.
Absolutely.
Just a momentary lifting of the burden, which, as much as they love these sons, it is a hard day some days. You could tell the love for them was deep, but they also said some days are better than others.
Yes.
Yes, you'd say that's true. But that's what I think your center does as good as anything else as well. That's usually good English, dum-dum. It does as well as anything else is provide a place for the parents to
know they're not alone. And, and they're supported. We see you. We love you. We are here for you.
Yeah, because they didn't exist 5 years ago here. And Lisa's told the story how she started this thing basically on a shoestring and out of a garage and whatever else, and now it's growing and growing, and y'all are still growing.
We absolutely are. We develop new programs based on the needs of our participants, and it changes from day to day.
As far as the programs and such, where do you get the material and training from? I mean, it's not just something that y'all think up on the fly. I mean, where do you get your ideas?
Some of it is.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, all the programs stem from a need, but some of our after-school programs, for example, we have Glamorous Wednesdays. That's not something that we're teaching like a curriculum. Or
right.
Glamorous Wednesdays are for our adult women who they need to feel seen and they need to feel beautiful and they need to feel appreciated. So whether that's learning how to do a face mask and learning how to properly wash your face and moisturize and all that, or if you're learning how to paint your nails, or you're baking cookies and watching a chick flick, it's just...
Hey, that sounds like a good afternoon.
So that's something. It's a nice place for ladies to be ladies.
Yeah, a chick flick. So no Terminator 3 or anything like that on the screen.
I mean, some people consider that a Christmas movie, don't they?
No, it's Die Hard you're thinking
Die
of.
Hard, yes. I'm
Die
sorry.
Hard is a Christmas movie.
It is? Okay.
Oh, okay.
One of my high school classmates is in that movie.
No way.
Yeah, she was an extra in it, but if
You're still in it?
You're still in it. I mean, I know who to look for with certain scenes, so there you are. She was one of the crowd or whatever. But anyway, back to the matter at hand. I just was wondering, is there a place that y'all can get curriculum or get programs from, like online or from the state?
So we do
whatever.
Pull from a variety of different places, because like I said, it's all about meeting the individual where they are. So if we see that stuff that we're getting from one resource is working better, or we like a little bit from here sprinkled in with something we're getting over here.
Well, I guess I just want the listeners to know that these programs are not just ad hoc. Today we'll do this. I mean,
right? Yeah, it's not.
It's that you get material, information, whatnot from autistic,
reputable.
What am I trying to say? That resource centers.
Yes.
Resource centers of various kinds that deal with autistic people. It isn't just like, well, what do you want to do today? I don't know. No, you have material that y'all can draw from to make professional level programs.
Yes, that is an accurate statement.
That's what I wanted. I'm not really eloquent today. I don't know why. Maybe it's the heat. I'll blame that.
It sounds like a good excuse to me.
It sounds as a good excuse. Well, we're about to end here, so...
I will say we do have one more.
Oh, we do? Okay, well, that's good. I don't want to short anybody.
The Adopt a Class.
Oh, okay. Tell us about this.
So, as I mentioned earlier, we are starting school back up on the 23rd, and something we have, this is new this year, is the Adopt a Class. So we have two different options. One is to be a class sponsor for $450 for the full school year, if you so choose. And another option is $50 a month to support a classroom. You can contact Michelle at centerforasd.org, or you can always call the center and inquire, and we can tell you everything you would like to know.
Now, as far as the donation part of it, you get on their website, they have a donate button, right?
Yes, we do.
And a drop-down box maybe that you can specify.
Yes.
Okay.
If you do have if you want it to go to, general funding, you guys need the money, y'all decide where it goes. Or if you maybe have a special interest in the Glamorous Wednesdays and you're like, hey, I really love that. I want these ladies to feel beautiful. You can designate your donation to that and all of the programs you can choose from.
Everybody I talk to that in the nonprofits say they'll take any gift that's given. If you want to drop $1,000, we'll take it, right? But they really also say that it's those small monthly donations on a consistent basis that they build their programs on.
That is absolutely true, because it's the person who maybe they give $5 a month every single month. It seems small, but they might not have much to give. And so that $5 means a lot more to them than it would for somebody else.
One of my favorite stories in Scripture is the widow's mites. When Christ and his disciples are watching these people dump big tons of money in the bucket, and old widow drops in a couple of bits, and he says, that lady gave more than anybody else. That's exactly true. Because, for some people, $25 may be, okay, they didn't get a pizza that day or something like, something small. For other people, $25 means something else. And so God bless those people that really sacrificially give. And because these programs are built on sacrificial giving. And I mean, Megan, Jennifer, Debbie Beeman at Promises, Lisa Schwartz at Crazy 8, Sharice over at Reinspire, you name it. Jessica over at Fitability. They all say, yeah, a nice big gift is always great, but we build programs on monthly giving.
And those are the people who they care. We have a special place in their heart. They're not doing it for a tax write-off or to put their name somewhere. They're doing it because they care.
Well, with the tax laws, it's almost, it's very, very difficult to match the standard deduction now. So the incentive is strictly, and it's a lot more, it's less financial incentive and much more of the heart because of the way the tax laws are now written. But anyway, so they can adopt a class. They can get a general fund.
They can. And if it is for a business, then we can shout out your business and, put your logo on the website and do a social media shout out, all of those things.
Well, that didn't hurt.
It sure doesn't.
Well, that's the thing about like my sponsors, they sponsor this show and they allow me a couple of times a month to rant about Joe Biden's latest outrage. But this is really what they want, is this kind of, and it's not so much they're doing it out of generous motives. Let's put it that way. They want to be part of this because they want to help the community. I've talked to all these sponsors and they just love it when we have these kind of shows. And they said, yeah, okay, Allard, you can rant next week. But they like being part of this. They want their name associated with this, and not because they want the applause or whatever they think is going to come with it. But they want to feel like they're doing something for the community other than just making a living.
And I will say that is something that this platform allows, because you do share so much about the nonprofits and allow us our space to exist. And
well, I don't know about allow, but I've said this before. I'm the most fortunate man in this county because I get to sit here and see the good things that are going on. I mean, when elections are going on, there's a lot of elbows being thrown and some hard things being said. But 99% of our community is like this. People working, serving, being great citizens. And I'm very, very fortunate to sit here in this seat and see all of y'all, all the nonprofits, and even the businesses that are for profit, and how much they donate back to this community. And I just not many people can see it at a global
at the level that you do.
Yeah, at the global level. And like this thing coming up in September on the Giving Day.
That's what I did. I forgot to mention one little part about that.
Well, go ahead.
So we are looking for matching fund sponsors, and what that does is helps provide incentives to drive other donations. So if someone sees that when they donate $1, it turns into $2, just like that. It really creates a buzz And if you would like to become a matching fund sponsor, it doesn't matter if it's $100 or $500. We will share your logo, share your company, and you can email me at Bianca at centerforasd.org, or you can always just call up at the center and ask for me, and we can get you set up.
We have a question here, and I think it's important, even if we have to go a couple minutes over, because it's an important question. RK Counseling asked this question: is there a resource available to the families that are overwhelmed and need to deal with their emotional regulation? Example being anger management.
I guess it depends in what capacity, because for some parents, the parent support group does offer that and is enough. I can't speak to the level of anger management mentioned here, because I'm not sure what capacity that is. But if we are not able to help, we certainly have resources. We can point you in the direction of counselors. We do have a counselor, Sarah Herrera, who works with the center.
That's a great name.
She sees some of our participants and then some of our families as well.
I would ask the question here, RK Counseling, we're talking about anger management for the child, or are we talking about dealing as a parent with a child that's having an anger issue? I have another good friend who has an autistic child, and I haven't seen him in a little while, but he was at BHS, and there were 2 or 3 times over the course of a semester he blew up, and we had to have the officer on campus come and help calm him down, teachers calm him down, all this other stuff, and I just thought my poor friend, because he a lot of times they get overstimulated or whatever else, and they react this way. So at the anger management, are we talking about trying to control those outbursts by the child, or are we talking about how to have the parents deal with this, or both maybe, I suppose?
Well, like I said, we do have a counselor who we work with, Sarah Herrera. She comes to the center and she meets the family, parents, or the kids, and are dealing as a parent.
Dealing as a parent, it can create conflicts in the family. I have no doubt about that. I'm sorry for your situation, because I saw those outbursts from over the years at BHS. The wing that dealt with special ed was right across the main hallway from me, so I had a front row seat to some of this. And sometimes those kids, God bless them, they would just, they just spiral out of control out of nowhere. And it's very, very stressful, and it must be. God only knows how stressful it must be in the house with the family. So, should RK Counseling and whomever else, domestic, medical, financial, etc., you bet it is very stressful.
So,
should they call your center and y'all could talk to somebody like Lisa or somebody who can?
Well, we can absolutely see if Sarah is able. Sarah,
Yeah.
I don't believe is anger management specific, but she is a licensed counselor therapist. She just graduated with her doctorates last year. She's a professor at UNT.
Oh,
we
heavens.
absolutely love Sarah.
Well, I would imagine that if RK Counseling calls your center, y'all be able to be directing something more specific to their particular situation. But I would bet their particular situation is replicated in some of your other homes as well.
I would be willing to bet so.
Yeah. So anyway, well, anyway, I'm going to let you finish off here because you'll give you the last word and let you tell what they want to hear, or need to hear rather, and we can summarize some of these events coming up. So there's a lot of people, they'll tune in late, they didn't catch the first part of the show or whatever else. So tell us, you got the last word.
Basically, the center is a wonderful place, and you should absolutely support and get involved in some capacity, whether that's donating to one of our fundraisers, donating goods that we need for the center, volunteering your time, simply telling a friend about us, or liking any of our social media pages. You can find us just about anywhere at Center for ASD. And it feels good to give back, y'all.
It surely does. And next week, I'm checking out my calendar because I think I have your aunt. I know I have your aunt on a week from Thursday for Reach and their Rise seminar coming up. There have been talk about that for a little while. And,
Yeah, we love Reach Across Johnson County. They're big supporters of the center.
Okay, RK Counseling says, I'm available for those conversations should you choose to discuss. Okay, all I'd say is call the Center for ASD, and I bet you can set up a time to visit, have an appointment of some sort, and go over all the details. All right, like I said, Wednesday, or no, I didn't say Wednesday. Thursday, we have Jennifer from Harvest House, and she will tell us what's going on with them. Also, I'm looking for next week as well, just to use this plug. Next week, we have one of our B&I friends. Tamara's going to talk about Smoking Pig. They do a lot of catering events.
Barbecue.
Yeah, that's right. And I've had some. It's really good. And also, I have promises on the 15th. And like I said, on the 17th, I have your aunt on with Reach. So we're going to have a very busy week next week and the rest of this week. Thank you all for all the response. For the folks at RK Counseling, I hope you're able to find some sort of program.
Yeah, give us a call in and we'll get something figured out.
Yeah, we wish the best for all of y'all. And
thanks for tuning in, everybody.
You ought to do this for
another amazing show with Mr. Allard's Neighborhood.
I'll leave